Ladies and gentlemen, part 2, the ancient megaliths and ruins of Mars, the evidence special edition. All this information, relevant links and photographs are available in my blog as an alternate information source. I'll include the link to this page in the video description below. The background and the introduction covered extensively in part 1, so I'm just going to briefly go through those again in an effort to try and save time. So I'm consolidating all my findings of these strange megalithic blocks with small features or knobs or holes, as well as ruins, foundations and toppled walls in this video. So upon closer examination, I found these megalithic blocks look very similar to those found on Earth, with these small features on them, as well as the geometry and size. These two photographs were taken by the high-rise, and I've included the links or the photograph names, so you can check those out on the high-rise website. Closer look at the megaliths on Earth. You can check these knobs and these megalithic blocks. So the purpose of these knobs is still highly speculative, and many people believe these knobs were formed by some other melting process where they molded these megalithic blocks, and these knobs are as a result of those. And there's many other reasons. You can read through that when you have some spare time. I've added some new information since part 1. Some megaliths on Mars show the same signs of warping or concave surfaces as those found on Earth. So you can check out this video by phenomenal travel videos. I'll include the link as well, where you can see this melting technology that was used on these rocks in the temple in India. You can see the way these blocks have warped because of the non-uniform wall thickness. And here's one example of a megalithic block on Mars that also looks warped. There's the name of this photograph. You can check that out too. And these megalithic blocks that we find on Earth are really huge, and I've included 2 examples here as well. And these are about 20 meters long, 4.5 meters wide and 4.5 meters high. And then similar ones found on Mars. This is one that's 75 meters tall by 33 meters wide in Asimov crater, as well as this 20 meter long, 8 meter wide megalith or arch, also in Asimov crater on Mars. And then some speculation as to what these megalithic blocks with these small features or knobs from my channel viewers and myself. And I've added a new one. Could it be that the dark spot found in the centers of some of the objects are cones facing inward in what may be some type of water condensation processing plants? You'll see in some of the examples I'll show you that there's dark spots, and it looks like there might be cones pointing inward. So Those on Earth, could those be used to gather water in some condensation process? Okay, geometry and dimensions. As I mentioned before, the minimum width and height of the megaliths found on Mars, 8 meters. These things are huge. And then also really weird objects, mostly with flat, smooth surfaces, 90-degree corners. And then these are the two bands, one in the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere, where I found the majority of these megalithic blocks with small features, knobs and holes. So let's start. The anomalies I'll be showing you are just a few of the more intriguing ones from each of these sites. If you see them all, please look at my previous videos where I cover the anomalies and artifacts in detail. So the first site we're looking at is located roughly 90 north, 170 east in Kotka crater. Here you can see the topography, and we'll be studying this area here. There's the first anomaly, this huge megalithic block, similar in texture as to the one in Asimov, that's 75 meters tall by 33 meters wide. Check that out. You can see right angles, straight edges, and it does look like these blocks are quite eroded. Here's another one that's also partially sticking out. We're looking at that object there, partially buried, and you can just see the dark spot or flattened dome feature in the center. Looking at these two objects over there, also rectangular looking blocks, almost like pillars, with a strange semicircular feature on the one side, and then strange shape to what could be a base to these pillars or objects. Here you can also see a strange looking edge, showing that this could have sheared off, broken off. Check that out. Next site, 47 south, 303 east. Check out the topography of this area we'll be looking at. And this white line that you see in the photographs, I used to link the different sites where I found these anomalies. I'll show you that in another video. I think in part 4 we can go through onto Google Earth Mars and follow that white line. So check out this anomaly. It's huge. It's in this propeller shaped configuration with this circular feature in the center. There's lots of symmetry and geometry going on in that one, and that's about, let's see, about 15 meters in diameter. This disc-shaped object covered in sand. Looking at those there, the way these blocks have been arranged in a circular pattern. Also very similar in shape. Check out that one there. Looks like a folded serviette or handkerchief in that shape. Like a stepped megalithic block with a strange V opening over there. piece sticking out. More megalithic blocks. The geometry in this one, where it's been carved with a circular side to it there. Circular ridge, rather strange. Looking at this partially buried hexagonal slab. You can see 3 of the sides here, as well as a slot cut into the one side. And surrounding it are these megalithic blocks. Check that rectangular block out there. Next site, 42 south, 5 east. We're back at Asimov. Check out the geometry here. And this is a discovery made by my friend Saturn Arc. We like to refer to this area as what can we call it? It's a sunken area similar to Atlantis, I guess. So check that out. Showing you some of the retaining walls. Check out this over here. And these megalithic blocks we can see on this edge. Many of them have come loose and rolled down the edge or down the gully. Check that out. Here you can see 2 blocks that fit nicely together. Look at the way that they've been shaped or cut. There's almost perfect cube over there. There's that one that I showed you in the introduction. It looks like a stone arch. You can see 3 of the sides. And that huge block over there, it's about, let's see, 18 meters long, about 12 meters wide. Also very straight edges, flat smooth surfaces, and little rectangular pieces being carved out of this one corner. So you got those 2 anomalies there, also huge. Got this rhombic shaped block over there, straight edges, nice symmetry in that one, and then 2 darker spots over there. Check out this one here. It's got this rectangular, what looks like a rectangular base or slab, and then a rounded disc feature on the one flat surface there. Rather strange looking object. Check out these other blocks. This one over here. And this odd concave feature cut into this one side. Straight edges as well, like a parallel line running through there. Now, sorry about that, folks. That's concave, I guess. Next site, 61 south, 170 east. Really smooth area as well. Get this in the shape of a stop sign, like this hexagonal shape. Some symmetry in that object there. And it's about 15 meters across. Check out this block. Strange shape. And then on top we've got two smaller features or knobs, and that looks like a hole, perfectly circular hole over there. Looking at that one, it's about 18 meters from there to there. Some strange geometry, smaller piece on top of this larger one, same sort of shape. Next site, 62 north, 62 east, Pyramidal crater. We're looking at anomalies in that area there. This huge V-shaped structure or partially buried object, difficult to say, and it's about 300 meters per side, straight edges, rather strange looking object. And then many of these Stokes crater type of Stonehenge anomalies. Look at this well-defined object. Check that edge over there, and a darker little spot towards the apex. Now we have another one of these hexagonal objects with a small feature-like knob sticking out right in the center. Here we've got a close-up of the Stonehenge in inverted commas type of anomaly, with similar sized and shaped megalithic blocks arranged in the circular pattern. Could that be some type of observatory the ancients used? Look at that block over there. There's another one of those with a little feature on it. There's almost a perfect cube right there. The dark spot in the center of the one side, and a round dome-like feature in the center of the other side. There's another piece sticking out there with what looks like a hole right in the center. Looking at that anomaly over there, just about 8 meters tall, that dark spot right in the center. Checking out that feature there, about 10 meters across, and it looks like there's an opening over there and a flattened feature in the center of that side. And for some reason I don't have a zoom of it. So the next site, 37 degrees south, 190 degrees east, and this is in Electris. Check out all the canals running through this area. This is inside the canals. Looking at those objects there. Another one of these rectangular shaped objects with a feature in the center of that one side. Check, there's more of these megalithic blocks, almost like retaining walls of these canals. A lot of them come loose and roll down. Check out that block over there, really smooth surfaces. And then this strange looking object over there with that feature in the center of the apex over there. And in this strange block, these small rectangular feature and small dome-like feature on it. We can see like a V shape, more of that retaining wall. Checking out that anomaly there with the symmetry in this shape, then the V-shaped pyramidal knob or feature on this one side. That block over there, you can see two of the sides, and then this toppled structure, these blocks rolling down this mound. There's a close-up of it. Check at the symmetry and geometry in these blocks. It's three similar shaped objects over there. This looks almost like it could be metallic here as well. Another one of those hexagon shapes sticking out there. There's another one there. Pardon me. One of these blocks dislodged and rolled down. Checking out that one. That dark spot or hole right in the center. Next site we're looking at 44 degrees north, 84 degrees east. So rather flat terrain. We're analyzing anomalies in that area. Looking at that structure over there. Looks like these megalithic blocks running parallel. We've got another block with a small darker feature in the center. There's another partially buried block over there. Checking out that anomaly, which is about 12 meters long. Dark spot that looks almost like it could be a flattened dome-like feature or knob. Checking out those anomalies. That one there is about 15 meters long. So another one of these could have been hexagonal shapes, partially buried. There's a pyramidal feature or knob. Check it, the hexagon shape over here. And two dark spots on that smooth megalithic block there. Look at the strange geometry in this piece. Out of place. Only one like it in this area. It's a rectangular block. And then two dome-like features or knobs in the center. And then a classic UFO. Check that out. This was discovered by my friend Saturn Arc. Classic UFO shape with a dome on top. Check that out. Partially buried. Very similar to another one that I found in ESP 01416681820. So they're both the same size, both same geometry, but something like 8,000 kilometers apart. So there we go. We've got two matching objects, and I do cover that extensively in one of my previous videos. I just thought I'd drop it in here. Those are about 8 meters in diameter. This one looks as if it's slightly more wrecked than this one. So the next site, 39 degrees north, 59 degrees east, and it's that huge megalithic block that you can even see from a distance away. So it's about 2 kilometers long, 300 meters wide. It's classic monolith shape, partially buried as well, covered in sand or dust. And then right there, I just thought I'd include that here as well because I did find it quite interesting. It's 300 meters wide disc, what I call the Star Trek Enterprise, without the nacelles. Check that out. This comes from my ode to Roddenberry and Asimov, so check out that video when you get a chance. Next site, 41 south, 37 east, rather flat, smooth terrain. And there's some prime examples here of these megalithic blocks. Check that out. Here's this weird feature over here. There's another one of it there. Strange shape. There's a spherical feature in the center of that block. Two pyramidal features or knobs on that one. There's a row of them over there, almost arranged in an arc. Another block, the dark spot on it right there. But check out this megalithic block. It looks as if it could be a piece that broke off from a larger one. One is about, let's see, 15 meters across. Get that perfectly smooth surface, and then it's got this semicircular ridge line with this piece carved into that one corner. Checking out those anomalies there. Get this piece over here, narrow rectangular piece, the triangular side or corner there, and then two smaller features placed strategically on that one. Another hexagonal shape there. Check out that V-shaped feature part on that thing. A small little dome-like knob right there. Check out these. Now this is a weird anomaly. It's about 8 meters long. This piece over here. Also straight edge, and right in the center a dark spot, or could that be a smaller dome-like feature right there, almost metallic looking. Checking out that feature. It's a little pyramid with rounded corners on this plectrum shaped object. Next site, 42 north, 32 east. Some more prime examples of these megalithic blocks. Check out the symmetry in those features or symbols on top of that rectangular block there. You've got a rounded dome-like feature, oblong oval feature, and then two, those look like almost triangular features there. Looking at that narrow metal plate, could be a metal plate over there, could be a slab that is warped, with that dome-like feature in the center. Checking out that anomaly, so it looks like it broke off another piece, but also right there, this dark spot. Checking out this anomaly over here, flat slab, straight edges, right angle. More of these objects, small spherical or dome-like features on them. Next site, 29 north, 73 east. In a very mountainous area, it looks as if this is in a valley. Checking out anomalies over here. And look at that huge block, perfect block sticking out there. It's about 8 meters, it's about 10 meters wide. You can see 3 of these sides. And there's a little feature right in the center of that one side there. So this looks as if it could have been some type of wall or structure. These blocks that have come loose and rolled down into the gully. Look at these. There's that block as well. So the next side, 39 degrees south, 63 degrees east. So in a really flat terrain. So you got this disc-like convex object, a little dome-like feature in the center. And that too is about 12 meters across. There's another one of those disc-like objects, the smaller feature in the center, also about 8 to 10 meters in diameter. Check that out. Also right in the center. That's what makes these anomalies so strange. There's more of them here. Checking out that one. So about the same size. Little dome-like feature or knob in the center as well. There's another rectangular object, rounded corners, and right in the center we've got a square cube-like feature, almost pyramidal feature. It looks like a sphere. Check that out. Look at the way these objects have been arranged in this circular pattern. A round knob over there. Looks like a little arch in the center of this one. A little hole right there. So those blocks also about 8 meters each, 8 meters across. Checking out that one there. Right in the center we've got another one of those dome-like features. Another disc-shaped object there. This looks like one of those concave, warped, circular discs. There's a little sphere right in the center. Check out those features on this one. We've got 3 similar sized, equally spaced features on this semicircular object. Another one of those spectrum shaped objects. There's another cube or square on this one, the rounded, that looks like a classic rounded knob right there. This is a strange circular feature or part on this one. So you get that little spherical ball right in the center. Looks almost as if this could have been a water feature. Another one of those classic disc-shaped objects. And this feature looks almost like a hexagon right in the center of the larger object again. And we're looking at those anomalies. Another classic disc over there. A smaller circular, almost donut-shaped feature on that one. Very similar to that disc I showed in part 1, the first anomaly of part 1. Similar discs like this have been found on Earth. So do check out part 1 if you get a chance. It's another one of these broken objects with 2 similar sized features on it, and then 2 dark spots. Next site, 1 south, 249 east. More of these canals. Looking at this object right there. Even from the CTX, it's very visible. It's this strange square structure with these 2 chevron-shaped parts to it. Looks like these 2 corners being destroyed. So check that out. Could that have been a square structure that was destroyed in the distant past? Each one of those sides is about 480 meters long. The gap over here is 180 meters, and that one over there 350 meters. So this is not to scale. It wouldn't fit on the screen. It's massive. Okay, next area, 37 south, 189 east. Pardon me. More of these strange, I don't know what you could call them, knobs or canals. Also rather huge. So you're looking at some of the blocks that have also come loose from the retaining walls. Check how huge these are. That one over there, for example, is about 18 meters tall. That one over there, rectangular slab. It looks like there's 2 layers on that one. Get that line running through the center. So let's zoom in on that object. And I don't know whether this is two of these megalithic blocks lying on top of one another, or if this is one block that's been cut into this geometry. And this too, we've got perfect arc on this side, check that out. And a straight edge over there. And that seems to have broken off from a larger piece perhaps. So we're looking at more of these metallic metal plate type of anomalies. Look at that ridge line running in parallel, this one edge, some layering over there. So when you get a chance, do check out my previous videos where I show you all the anomalies that I find in these sites. As I said, to try and save time, I'm only showing you a couple from each of these sites. More of these blocks over here have come loose and rolled down to the gully. Check out that one. It's about 20 meters, 18 meters tall. It's straight edge over there, that ridge line. And then this is almost like it's been hollowed out a bit. Check out the reflection. That narrow straight piece running through there. So how was this block made? Very intriguing. And then these strange objects. That one's about 25 to 30 meters across. These weird objects on the surface. Looks like a type of a habitat or underground entranceway, maybe a type of a hatch. More of these huge blocks. And this is a 1-to-1 scale, so these things are massive. Looking at that anomaly there, that's also about 20 meters or 25 meters long. Square feature on top of that block. Get this side over there, 90-degree angle, and then a little pyramidal feature in the center. More huge blocks. Check out that one over there as well. Straight edges, right angles, smooth surfaces. So we're checking out these anomalies here. And this one I found quite intriguing. Almost like a perfect arc again. Little pyramid shape there. Next site, 7 north, 149 east. You can also reference the coordinates here in the bottom right hand corner. More of these weird ruins. There's another one over there, a bit further away. And this glaring anomaly here. looks like a pyramid. It's been destroyed or eroded on these sides. You can even see the classic convex shape and the three sides. So each of these measures about, I think, 80 meters. Let's see. Oh, it's huge. Check out this anomaly there. It looks almost like an arch. And that's also huge. About 25 meters across. 20 to 25 meters across. And here's another one of these strange cubes. Almost like a Rubik's Cube. Check out there's 9 of these smaller squares inside of this. As well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 similar sized cubes. And this is also about 10 by 10 meters. Next site, 45 south, 308 east. This is a very mountainous area. Looking at anomalies there. At these features, there's like a hexagonal convex shape feature on that one with a small little dome-like feature in the center, and then 2 features in the center of the rounding of each of these 2 objects. Checking out where's that feature? It's right there. So it looks like a metal plate. The way this edge has been bent, it's almost like the top of a craft. And on top of it, that feature right in the center. So what could that have been? And this looks like some type of shelter made out of these layered metal plates. So that's about 25 meters across. Also huge. Next site, 57 south, 298 east, or 61 degrees west. I don't know why NASA opted to use 2 different types of measuring systems. So anyway, it's inside this flattened hole crater. Looking at those anomalies, and these 2 are quite huge, about 10 meters to 12 meters across, and smaller dome-like features in the center. Check out those 2. Here we've got 3 arranged in a triangle. Get the arc on those 2 objects. See if it could be top of a hole. And this one's huge. This triangular wedge-shaped object. It's about 20 meters to about 15 meters long. So there's also another one of those wedge shapes. Looks like those battle cruisers from Star Wars. Check it, that feature over there. Yeah, more of these knobs. There's another one of these circular objects, almost like the top of a hatch. Check that out. Looks like metal plate, and it's been bent on this one corner, and this opening over here also seems to be bent down. Look at these strange features on top of that. There's another one of those metallic looking objects with an oblong narrow feature. Check out those. Also some arrangement in this pattern. Check that out. And really strange or weird feature or part on the top of this disc-like object. Also looks like metal plate there. Another opening perhaps. And this one hasn't been bent down. And there's another little circular feature on the side of that block. And there's a little dome as well. More arrangement of megaliths there in that circular pattern. Check that out. We've got another square feature or knob on this one. Now you can see it's almost as if it's molded. It definitely looks part of that surface there. There's another sphere over there. Interesting. There's lots of these circular arrangements in this photograph. We're checking out those anomalies. Two similar sized objects. There's a perfect dome-like knob or feature on that one. Here's another one of these pyramid shapes. More blocks over here. Check it, these anomalies there. That one's about 20 meters long. And over there, it looks like a metal plate, partially buried. The rounded corner. You can see another hexagonal block with consistent depth. Two more objects with smaller features in the center. There's a little square object over there as well. So get these anomalies. More patterns on this one, I think. And I don't know if that could be another metal plate. Check out those two equally sized features on that one. Also strategically placed, one in each corner. This is huge over here, about 25 meters across. Looking at that one there, another one of these warped megaliths with a dome-like feature in the center. Another one of those hatch type anomalies. Also almost like a little habitat, an opening as well. Slightly dented, almost looks like a metallic type of object or structure. Very similar to the previous ones I showed you. There's another rounded object over there. Smaller feature or part over here. It's almost like metal plate, the way this has been bent. And that thing there also looks rather odd. Check that out. About 30 meters across. Also arranged in a circular pattern. It's interlocking megalithic blocks. Smaller features. On top, that looks like a little V-shaped pyramid there. More of those arrangements in this site. Check that out. More interlocking parts. That V-shape artifact over there. Another little pyramid there. Also another V-shape block over here. Check that object out there. Massive, with a little dome in the center. But we're looking at this rectangular metal plate object with that. Straight edges, right angle. It's like a bend running through there. And then 3 parts sticking out there like a fork. And a dark spot right in the center. It's very mechanical. Check that out. It's about 15 to 20 meters across. 2 smaller features in the center of that object. More triangular objects arranged in a circular pattern. These are similar shaped, similar type of geometry. And there's 2 smaller circular features in the centers of those 2. And over here, I think there's 2 of them in this one. Check out that. 2 similar dome-like features. Check that out. Right in the center of that disc-like object there. More debris or wreckage perhaps. Check that out. Perfect edges, rounded corners. And that looks like a semicircular opening over there. And this looks like a similar type of part over here. Metal plate perhaps. Next site, 52 south, 23 east. Also a relatively flat area, smooth terrain. Also a vast area with these destroyed structures, I think. Checking out those square megalithic slabs. Could even be metallic plate, who knows? Straight edges, right angles. Check that out. Some layering going on there. Unfortunately, this photograph is very noisy. There's quite a bit of interference in these photographs, so we're checking out those anomalies over there in the center. Check out this piece over here. Got a rounded arc corner or edge to this piece, but then sticking out of it like a little winglet, we got that piece. A little pyramid feature over there. And then it seems to be joined to this rectangular part over here. So I don't know what that is. Some type of wreckage perhaps. There's another one of those hexagonal stop sign shaped anomalies. And these are all huge as well. That one, for example, about 20 meters across. So we're checking out that one there. About 15 meters across. That strange opening over here, a rounded edge. That'd be a top of a hatch as well. Set up a little habitat, entranceway. Checking out those anomalies. Also some circular arrangement going on here. Straight edge. Again, don't know if that's a metal plate. Another one of these rounded parts to it. Another one of these stop sign shaped hexagonal parts. Check at the layer on top. There's a triangular, thin triangular part on top of that. Look at that ridge line. Looks like either a slot or maybe it's ripped slightly into that one side. The small dome-like feature in the center. Check at that slab over there. It's about 25 to 30 meters across. We're looking at this block over there. Check at the shape of this megalith. Got a rounded edge. Arc over here. Straight edge, another rounded corner there. Not a typical boulder or rock for sure. And then more metal plate, wreckage or debris, I think. Check that out there as well. Here we've got two rectangular pieces. That one's layered on top of this one. A little triangular part over there. It's almost as if these could be narrow openings perhaps. Look at that part sticking over that opening. More wreckage or rounded megalithic blocks. Also another like a diamond shaped object with that little feature in the center. And then there's another flat slab or disc-like object underneath that. This would be in the top of an opening that's collapsed. Check that out. There's another huge anomaly over here. 25 meters or 30 meters high. And it's got that triangular feature or part over there in the center of that one side. Really odd. And check it, this rounded corner over here, then a ridge line running through there. I'll show you many of these in upcoming episodes of this special edition. I do cover them in previous videos. And then this, I don't know what you guys think of this one. It reminds me of a Quimbaya jet, similar to those found in South America, as featured on the History Channel. So this object over there looks as if it's either some type of stone sculpture in the shape of one of these, or could that be one of these craft that's smashed, wrecked, and then covered in dust and sand, with these smaller objects on top of it. I don't know what you guys make of that. It's also out of place. I haven't found anything similar in any other photographs before, so rather interesting. Next site, 48 degrees north, 122 east. And it's also in this flat terrain. And a lot of blocks. I don't know if there were structures here or what this was, but these megalithic blocks definitely don't look natural. Check that one over there as well. The dark dome-like feature in the center. So let's look at these. More interlocking blocks. These are more convex in shape, almost molded as well. Check out the lines running through here. These look like foundations. So could these have been buildings? Toppled walls all over. Check out these blocks. All interlocking as well. The dark feature or knob there, and on this one over here as well. And a narrow oblong one over there. It's very similar to the ruins I've found in Argaya. So we're looking at those anomalies over there. More megalithic slabs. Check out that straight edge there. And then a small dome-like feature or knob near the one side. These blocks are also huge. This one, for example, is about 12 meters wide. Check out that. Could this be metallic plate or very narrow, thin megalithic slabs? But check out that dome-like feature there. And these two smaller ones over here, that could be one as well. Arranged around that larger one. Checking out this strange block over here. The geometry in this piece, like a diagonal edge. And then this part over here. That looks manufactured for sure. That looks like a little hole perhaps. The parallel lines running through here like terraces. Another block with a rounded corner there, and then a flattened dome-like feature in the center. It's located over there, the photograph. So looking at that object, semicircular, with 3 features or knobs arranged in an arc. And in this, I'm not sure whether this is megalithic in nature, whether this might be some type of wreckage. And you've got 3 parts in a row over here, parallel. But this is a really strange protrusion over here. I wonder, could that be some type of machinery or technology? Then this huge block, this hexagonal feature on top, and right in the center we've got another dome-like feature. Nice defined edges, rounded corner, and then dome-like part in the center. Next, 42 south, 134 east. Inside this flattened hole crater, with more circular patterns. Check this out. Let's just check. That's about 35 meters across. Also interlocking blocks arranged in that circular arc around this larger block over there. This is a very bright photograph with very little contrast, so I struggled a bit to bring out detail. So this one over here is about 12 meters across. And it looks as if these have also been arranged in some type of pattern. There's a little pyramidal feature in the center of that one. Almost hexagonal part or feature on this one. Check this out. I wonder if this is a type of a craft. Maybe part of a picture or something. Look at the rounded convex shape with that smaller semicircular opening over there. So that's about, what, 6 to 8 meters across. And then look at the way that these blocks interlock. Like a square opening over here. This is being carved out by the looks of it. Definitely looks as if these things interlock. Check that out. The geometry in this piece. It's rounded over here. Straight edge, right angle, straight edge, right angle, straight edge. Definitely manufactured. And then those. This too, I'm not sure whether this is wreckage. metallic wreckage, metallic plates. Check it, the square part sticking out, like little opening over here. Another one of these wedge shaped pieces. This looks like it's slightly above the ground. And look at that, semicircular. Looks almost like an opening over there, right in the center of that object. Another one of these square, convex shapes. Don't know if it could be megalithic. Again, wreckage, I'm not sure. Check it, that part in the one corner. And then another one of those hexagonal objects. So rounded, nicely rounded. And let's see, that's about 20 meters across. That smaller dome-like feature right in the center. And check out that piece. There's some symmetry in this one. Check that out. That slit is also over there. And then a smaller circular feature or dome in the center. Next site, 6 degrees south, 150 degrees east. It's also in an area with lots of these knobs and huge megalithic blocks. This one's about 20 meters tall by about 5 or 6 meters wide. Similar to the pregnant woman, the Baalbek stone on earth. Check that out. It shows signs of being worked or machined. And then this block, massive as well, about 25 meters tall, 15 to 20 meters wide, and then about 15 or 10 meters deep, so huge. So straight edges, right angles, rounded corners. It looks as if this one side is either worked on or it's slightly eroded. Next side, 56 degrees north, 350 degrees east. And it's in Canal, on top of the Canal pyramid. And we can see these slabs or tiles. This is the one side of the pyramid that isn't covered in sand and dust. Check out these slabs, plenty of parallel lines, straight edges and right angles in this. A lot of erosion over here. And then a bit further down this one side of the pyramid, you can see some of what I think is the material that was used to smooth over this one side of the pyramid. You can still see some of it visible over there. Check this out. This lighter colored material that covered these slabs or tiles. Very interesting. Just check if I can give you an indication how big these tiles are. It's about 8 meters, about 8 to 10 meters edgewise. Some a little bit larger than others, but in general, they're all about the same size. Next site, 30 degrees south, 211 degrees east, and it's at the intersection point on the opposite side of the planet, where the Giza Pyramid Complex simulation is. Do check out that video if you get a chance. Look at this area here too. This rectangular area that looks as if it's been mined like an open pit quarry. The anomalies we're looking at are located over here. Okay, more megalithic blocks. What looked like a retaining wall over here. We got another one of these megalithic slabs, 2 layers. Look at that ridge line running through there. Okay, so this is about let's see, 20 meters. No, 20 meters per side. And in that block over there, with a large question mark on it, it looks like a question mark, but it's covered in symbols. And this thing's also huge. It's about 25 meters tall. It looks as if it's covered in symbols. Many parallel lines, right angles. Check that out. Possibly part of a sculpture, some artwork. Some more of these blocks. And we're looking specifically at this smoking gun. Check that out. That's about 12 meters across. Looks like a triangular craft with these 2 little winglets. It's almost like a drone. This was discovered by Saturn Arc. Nice discovery. And that concludes this video. With that said, I thank you for watching. I know this was a very long video, so this was part 2. Do stay tuned for part 3, which I'll try and do within the next week or so. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.